Salve, Regina, Mater misericordiae.
Praise be Jesus and Mary. Today we celebrate the feast of the Archangels, Saint Michael, Gabriel, and Raphael. And so this calls to mind, first of all, the fact of the existence of the angels. That is, these intermediate beings between God and man, pure spirits, but nonetheless created by God, created before man was made. And we are made a little less than the angels, as Psalm 8 says, "Thou hast made him a little less than the angels." That is, God has made us a little less than the angels, with a nature that is a little less than the angels. And so there's not only a distinction between the angels and man and the angels and God, but there's also a distinction among the angels themselves. And that's why the angels we celebrate today are called archangels and not simply angels. That is, the archangels are considered chief or ruling angels in virtue of the special and important significance of the messages that they have to bring, or the importance of the actions that they have to perform. For example, the archangel, or there's simply an angel who foretells the birth of Samson to Manoah and his wife in the book of Judges chapter 13. Okay, it's an angel who foretells the birth of Samson. While it's an archangel who announces the incarnation of the Son of God. Obviously a much more important message to bring, and so it's not simply an angel to carry it out, but an archangel. And we see between the archangels that we celebrate today that their names themselves signify the actions that they perform. Saint Raphael, the name of Raphael means God has healed. And we see that in the book of Tobit, it's Saint Raphael who heals the blindness of the elder Tobias. Saint Gabriel, Gabriel's name means the strength of God. And remember the announcement that he made to Our Lady. He announces the incarnation of the strong one of Jacob. He shall be great and shall be called the Son of the Most High. And he talks about that the strong one of Jacob shall be conceived by the power of the Holy Spirit. The power of the Most High shall overshadow thee. And so it's the Archangel Gabriel to bring the announcement to Our Lady. And finally we see that Saint Michael, his name means who is like God. Saint Michael being the prince of the heavenly host, the prince of the heavenly army. He is the one, principally, who fights against Satan and his demons. And of course, the struggle against Satan is not with armament and swords and things like that, although Saint Michael is his image, he's bearing a sword. But of course, it's with the truth. Satan, the liar and the father of lies, wants to take the place of God, to take the throne of God, saying to himself, "I will not serve." And so St. Michael responds with the truth. Who is like God? No one is like God, and therefore no one can take his throne. And in fact, we read in the first reading of the Mass today, the account in the book of Revelation, which refers to the battle at the beginning of time, when Satan and the rebellious angels were cast down from heaven. But it also refers to the battle which will take place at the end of time. That is, Satan and his demons are still given a certain freedom. Remember, Satan is called the prince of this world. And he's given a certain freedom to roam around and seek the ruin of souls. So it won't be until the final judgment when he will be definitively cast into the depths of hell by Saint Michael and his accompanying angels. Christian tradition gives to Saint Michael 4 offices. First of all, as I had mentioned, to fight against Satan. And also, connected with this, to rescue the souls of the faithful from the power of Satan, especially at the moment of death. Now you see how important it is for us to invoke Saint Michael as our protector, as our prince, the prince of the heavenly host, and the protector of God's people. So oftentimes we can forget about the angels and their role to protect us and guard us and guide us on the way of salvation. You see how many helps God gives us on the road of salvation and sanctification. We ought to use all of the means that God gives us. I remember over in Italy, if you visit the cave of St. Michael, there's his statue there, and he had a glorious crown upon his head. And there was one time when some thieves had managed to come in and steal the crown. And people thought to themselves, how could St. Michael allow that crown to be stolen from his head? And the reason, the explanation was this, is that the people stopped invoking St. Michael. Think about, there's that prayer instituted by Pope Leo XIII that was for a long time tradition to pray after Mass, to invoke the aid of St. Michael. And so what happened was, people just forgot about that prayer. They no longer pray it. They no longer invoke St. Michael as their prince and protector. And so if we don't recognize him as our prince, that's why he allowed his crown to be stolen. So let's always remember to invoke St. Michael, his patron and protector of the Church. We remember St. Francis's particular devotion to St. Michael. So this is another reason for us to hold him dear and to invoke him often after the example of our Father St. Francis, who used to precede the feast of St. Michael with a 40-day fast. We also remember the great reverence that St. Francis demonstrated when he visited the cave of St. Michael there at Monte Sant'Angelo. St. Michael, who had appeared at the cave around the year 500. St. Francis then went to visit to honor the Archangel, but when he arrived at the cave, he decided not to enter in. He didn't think he was worthy to go in to the cave where the Archangel appeared, and so he remained outside in humble reverence. So let's remember always today and throughout the year to invoke the aid of these 3 archangels, Raphael, Gabriel, and Michael. Praise be Jesus and Mary.